Imagine this. You're walking outside, enjoying a beautiful sunny day. Maybe you're on a hike, stuck in traffic, or just sitting by the beach. Then suddenly, everything changes. Not gradually, instantly. For exactly 5 seconds, all the oxygen on Earth disappears. Sounds short, right? Just 5 seconds. You could blink and miss it. But if oxygen vanished for even that brief moment, what would actually happen? Welcome to What If, the show where we stretch the limits of imagination, backed by real science. Today we're diving into a world where oxygen takes a coffee break, and the results are intense. Take a deep breath. That satisfying rush you feel? That's mostly nitrogen, but it's the 21% oxygen that really matters. It powers your cells, fuels fire, holds water together, and keeps buildings standing. It's woven into the very fabric of the world around you. You might think, 5 seconds? I can hold my breath longer than that. And you're right, you might survive, but the world wouldn't. So, what exactly happens in those 5 seconds? Let's start with 1. The human body. The good news? Most people wouldn't even notice the change at first. Your lungs are already filled with air, and your blood still carries oxygen from your last breath. But here's where it gets weird. Without oxygen, air pressure instantly drops by about 21%. Your eardrums? Boom. Ruptured. Imagine being on a plane that depressurizes instantly, without a warning. And that's not all. With no oxygen in the atmosphere, you wouldn't be able to vocalize. No screaming, no talking. Just silence. You'd look around confused, mouth open, but nothing comes out, and neither does anyone else's. 2. Buildings and structures. While you're standing there in stunned silence, buildings around you begin to collapse. Literally. How? Because concrete depends on oxygen. The chemical bonds that hold it together rely on oxygen atoms. Without them, concrete turns to brittle powder. So bridges, dams, skyscrapers, and roads made of concrete, they crumble. The Hoover Dam? Gone. Skyscrapers in New York or Dubai, reduced to rubble in a heartbeat. And that's just the start. 3. Metals and machinery. Think about all the metal objects you interact with every day. Cars, trains, airplanes. Usually, metal surfaces have a thin layer of oxidation that prevents them from sticking to each other. Remove the oxygen, bare metal fuses together instantly under pressure. Cars that are touching, fused, airplane components, jammed, machinery, seized up permanently, and combustion, gone. Internal combustion engines, meaning cars, trucks, buses, and airplanes, all stop dead. Every vehicle on the planet that runs on gasoline or diesel becomes a lifeless hunk of metal. 4. Airplanes fall from the sky. Let's zoom out. Literally, thousands of airplanes are in the air at any given moment. In this scenario, engines fail instantly and there's no lift. Why? Because oxygen isn't just needed to power the engines, it's also part of the air pressure that generates lift under the wings. No oxygen equals no combustion equals no lift. Airplanes plummet from the sky. Pilots would have no time to react. And in 5 seconds, some would already be spiraling toward disaster. 5. The sky goes dark. Look up. Normally, the sky is a brilliant blue thanks to Rayleigh scattering, a process involving oxygen and nitrogen molecules that scatter sunlight. Take away the oxygen and the sky would darken immediately. Not quite pitch black, but more like deep twilight. And while you're admiring this sudden cosmic mood swing, 6. The ozone layer disappears. The ozone layer, our protective shield against ultraviolet radiation, is made of oxygen molecules, O3. With oxygen gone, it vanishes. The result? A sudden, unfiltered blast of UV radiation floods the surface of the Earth. In mere seconds, millions of people would suffer instant sunburns, even in mild weather. The risk of skin damage and cancers would skyrocket if the event lasted any longer. 7. Water starts to break apart. This might be the most terrifying part. Water is H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. No oxygen means water molecules start to dissociate. Theoretically, hydrogen would be released into the atmosphere, and while this wouldn't happen instantly everywhere, the chemistry of lakes, oceans, and even the water in your body would begin to unravel. In practical terms, the oceans would start turning to hydrogen gas, a highly flammable hydrogen gas. Now imagine oxygen suddenly returns. Boom! Explosive recombination could cause massive localized blasts in places with high hydrogen concentration. 8. Life underwater suffers. Marine life depends on dissolved oxygen in water. Even 5 seconds without it would cause shock and suffocation in fish and marine mammals. Delicate ecosystems like coral reefs would suffer, and larger animals like whales or dolphins, which need to surface for air, would panic or suffer damage from pressure fluctuations. It would be a silent, invisible catastrophe under the surface. 9. Earth's crust shifts. Did you know Earth's crust is nearly 50% oxygen by weight? The minerals that make up rocks and soil depend on oxygen to remain stable. If all the oxygen disappeared even momentarily, crystal structures would destabilize. There could be localized collapses, mini-quakes, or sudden shifts in terrain. Not only is oxygen vital to living things, it's embedded in the very bones of our planet. 10th, satellite chaos and global communication disruption. Oxygen also plays a subtle role in our ionosphere, the region that helps bounce radio signals across the globe. Its temporary disappearance would throw off GPS signals, radio transmissions, and satellite communications. Air traffic control would go blind. Military defense systems could glitch. Stock markets, dependent on digital transactions and timing, could lose millions in mere seconds. 5 seconds without oxygen might not be long for us, but for global infrastructure, it's catastrophic. 11. When oxygen returns. Now, let's imagine that after 5 seconds, oxygen suddenly returns. There's no rewind button for what just happened. Buildings are still dust, planes are falling, cars are crashed, metal objects are fused, people are injured. Fires might reignite, water systems are unstable, satellites are out of sync, and worse, hydrogen in the air could now meet oxygen again, creating fireballs or localized explosions. That 5-second break from oxygen becomes a global disaster with long-lasting effects. So, why does this matter? This isn't just a wild science fiction thought experiment. It's not only about the spectacular destruction or global collapse that might follow a few oxygenless seconds. It's about awareness. It's about gratitude. It's about perspective. That invisible 21% of the air we breathe. Something we never see, never hold, never even think about, is the glue that holds our reality together. It's in every breath we take, but also in every heartbeat it sustains. It keeps our engines roaring, our planes flying, our buildings standing. It locks atoms into water, binds molecules into minerals, and shapes the very crust of the planet beneath our feet. It keeps the sky blue, the fire burning, the oceans alive, us alive. Without oxygen, everything we know and rely on would unravel faster than we could even realize. And that's the point. We're often so focused on what we can see, the big, the loud, the flashy, that we forget the most powerful forces are often invisible. Like the atmosphere, like gravity, like time, like love, like oxygen. So, the next time you take a deep breath, pause. Realize you're not just filling your lungs with air, you're syncing up with billions of years of evolution. You're connecting to a delicate system that has sustained every form of life that's ever existed. You're tapping into the very essence of what makes Earth, Earth. This has been What If, where we don't just imagine the impossible, we explore the hidden threads that hold reality together. If this scenario sparked your curiosity, hit that like button, share this video with someone who loves deep questions, and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly dives into the unknown. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and always keep wondering.